Welcome to the Curiosity Podcast, a show about everything e-commerce and digital business. The aim is simple, to help you thrive online. And now, your host, Matt Edmundson.
Hello, my fellow e-commerce entrepreneurs. My name is Matt Edmundson, and this show is for those of us who are curious about e-commerce and want to know how to get better at doing digital business. Coming up in today's show, we are talking Christmas and what your business can be doing to plan ahead and capitalize on those Christmas sales. That's right, we're going to get into it. It may seem early to be talking about this, but trust me, it isn't. We are going to get into it. The notes for today's show will, of course, be on the website, mattedmundson.com. So if you're driving in your car, moped, or whatever it is you use for transportation, maybe an electric push bike like me. I really like my electric bike. Whatever it is, wherever you are, obviously drive safely, be safe. But the good news is you can download the notes from the website, mattedmundson.com. Just head on over there and you will see all of those. Now, if you are new to this show, I want to extend a massive welcome to you. We are getting new listeners all the time, principally because this is a new show, right? We are now on episode 11 already. Cannot believe we are into our 11th episode. But if you are new, welcome to the show. It is great to have you. It's a real honor and privilege that I have to be able to talk to you about e-commerce. And if you are new, definitely check out my website, because on there, I've got information about something called the Collab Project. And if you haven't heard of this, do check it out. It's a project that I'm doing that involves the challenge of setting up 100 new e-commerce websites. And to do that many, apart from being slightly nuts, I do need to partner with some entrepreneurs who have some great products to sell online, who want to partner with me and work with me to bring that great product, great service, great idea to the e-commerce world. Also on the site, you'll find links to the amazing Kurious Digital, who sponsor this show. Kurious Digital is an experience-based e-commerce platform that I use to run and grow my own e-commerce businesses. Okay, so if you're looking for a new platform, be sure to check it out at kurious.digital. That's Kurious with a K, not with a C. And if you're actually looking for a site that's not even e-commerce, still think about Kurious Digital. If you check out mattedmundson.com, that whole site is driven by the KD platform, so you can have a look, have a play around. Now, today's show, I am going to talk to you, like I say, about Christmas. And after the news section, we are going to listen to an interview that Sadaf recorded with Jen. Now, Jen is the marketing manager for Jersey Beauty Company, and she's going to be telling you all the kind of things that they are thinking about over at Jersey for Christmas. So you're going to want to carry on listening. Make sure you listen to the end because Jen and Sadaf are going to be great, and you get to listen to that conversation. Eggnog and Christmas lights. Think about that, right? What are some of the things that you think about when you think about Christmas? What are some of the things that pop into your mind? Eggnog, Christmas lights, Christmas trees, the presents, the turkey, the cranberry sauce, being with family, being with friends, the Queen's speech, whatever it is. I can pretty much guarantee that until you came along to this podcast and started listening to it, it's probably the furthest thing away from your mind, because we have literally just finished summer. Why would we be thinking about Christmas? In fact, for some of us, summer isn't even over yet. So already we're talking about Christmas. So Christmas might be the furthest thing from your mind right now. But to experience success this year, I strongly recommend wholeheartedly that you start thinking about how you're going to run your e-commerce business around the Christmas period and how you're going to drive sales and finish strong in this final quarter. Okay. So I'm going to run through my top Christmas tips. I'm going to give you 10 tips for Christmas readiness. Or 10 e-commerce tips for Christmas readiness is the exact title. Number one, we are going to plan ahead, right? Now, I've mentioned this already a little bit, and it's super, super critical. It's never too early to start thinking about Christmas, and we have to start planning now. And there's a whole bunch of reasons we need to start planning now. For example, if we need to develop our website, that doesn't happen overnight. Developers need time to do that. We've got to think about assets. We've got to go get the photography sorted out. We've got to get the content sorted out or the videos made. So make sure you plan ahead. Be more strategic, right? Just plan and think about what you're going to do rather than think, oh, my goodness, it's October, it's November, I'm in the middle of it, and I've not thought about it, okay? We want to avoid that pitfall. So my top tip here is you create a promotional calendar and write down how you intend to reach your sales goals for the next quarter. What are you going to do in September? What are you going to do in October? What are you going to do in November? And what are you going to do early December? And then also around the Christmas period, Boxing Day and so on and so forth. What are you going to do? Write that down in a promotional calendar. Take the time to plan now. Listen to the interview with Sadaf and Jem, because Jem will share with you some of the things that they've thought about. And so, you'll get some more ideas, which is great. Top tip number 2. This may sound blinking obvious, but I have to say it anyway. Provide gift wrapping services, right? Especially if your website offers products that are gifts, right? So if people can come to your website and go, you know what, that would be great for my friend ... Susan, or my friend Simon, or whoever, I could buy that for them. That's great. Offer a gift wrap service, because one, it just makes it easier for the customer, right? Oh, I don't have to gift wrap it, which is great. And two, you can actually add another £1 or £2 to your profit margin by offering a gift wrap service, which increases the average order value. Okay, so not only do you give a better customer service, you actually increase your profits, which is a beautiful thing around Christmas. So make sure you provide the gift wrap service. I get asked all the time, is that something you can charge for? Absolutely. Don't go crazy in your charging. I think we tend to stick to around £4 or £5 or under in most of our sites. So, what's that in dollars? Maybe 5. Again, the magic number 5, right? Stick to under 5 if you can. Or offered tiered gift wrap. So you could do a sort of a standard gift wrap, which is $5, and then like the super luxurious gift wrap, which may be $20, whatever it is that comes with a free teddy bear or whatever. Think it through. What could you do to add value in the gift wrap service that your clients could take advantage of and that would increase profits for you? Tip number 3, right? On your website, certainly around the end of October, you have got to start putting on there clear dates and timeframes for shipping and delivery. Okay, so you need to have on your website last delivery date for the UK. So this is what we do, right? We put on there, this is, if you want to order in time for Christmas, if you live in the UK, you've got to order before this date. If you live in Europe, you've got to order before this date. If you live in the States, you have to order before this date. So don't forget to give the last posting date for Christmas for your national and international deliveries on your website. Now, to understand what that information is, you are, of course, going to have to talk to your shipping company to get that information. But get it, put it on your website so customers are informed around Christmas. If they order now, are they likely to get it in time for Christmas? Yes or no? Tip number 4 is think ahead and try and prevent returns, right? So what you don't want to do is sell a load of stuff before Christmas only to come back to your office after Christmas to find most of it has been returned. Tricky in the clothing industry, I know, but we'll get into how you prevent returns at a much later date in a podcast. We'll get into it much further. But things like be really clear on your images, use videos if you can. Certainly if clothing or makeup or something like that's involved, people need to see it on people. Make sure your descriptions are super, super clear of products so that customers know exactly what it is that they are buying from you, and they get no surprises when they open their packages. That's one of the key things, right? You don't want a disappointed client. I was on a website earlier today. An advert for a product came up on my Facebook feed, and it was for a digital clock. And I thought, oh, that looks interesting. The way it looked in the photograph, the clock looked quite big. And so I clicked through to the website, and it looked quite big in all the images. And actually quite a lot of the reviews were like, man, this thing is tiny. You look at the image and think it's big, but it's tiny. And so some customer kindly put a photo in the review of the clock next to a TV remote control so I could get some idea of size. And you know what? Because of the way that image looks, yes, it makes a clock look bigger, so you might get more sales, but more people are going to be disappointed. They're going to send it back to you and they're going to write negative reviews, okay? So just be super, super clear. Tip number, what are we on? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Tip number 5, customer service. Make sure your customers know exactly how and when they can reach you over the Christmas break, right? Now, we always talk about, being great at customer service, being ready to offer your customers the best, most hassle-free customer service as possible, right? That should be your aim, so that obviously when they're ordering stuff, they want to know, can I get it in time for Christmas? Yes or no? Be clear about that and give them a super fast service from your point of view. Give them upgraded shipping options so they know that they can get it in time, guaranteed shipping. But let them know when your customer service center is open and when it's closed. In all the years I've been doing this, people never complain if we don't answer the phone on Christmas Day because they all appreciate we're at home with the family, right? As we should be. But we make that clear on the website. So be really, really clear. Tip number 6, offers and discounts. Now, around the Christmas period, so starting sort of end of September, early October, it's going to drum up. People start to get into what I like to call the buying frenzy, right? So there's no doubt about it. Sales generally go up around October, November time. Can't remember my dates now. Sales go up around that time, okay? So that's great. People are in a buying mood. They are ready to buy. Now, that doesn't mean you always have to discount your products to get people to buy from you. And in next week's podcast, we're talking specifically about Black Friday. So if you want to know how to do Black Friday, we're going to get into that next week, and we'll talk much more about discounts and offers and so on and so forth and what that actually means. You don't actually have to discount to get in increased sales, because if the discounting strips your profits, what's the point, right? But because people are in a better buying mood and are more likely to buy, what offers could you give them? Maybe you want to do a discount, I don't know, but what are the offers? What things can you throw in there which is going to help them choose you and convert on your website? Someone who's, a highly motivated buyer. This is a good time. Make sure you capitalize on it, okay? The next tip, make sure your site is mobile ready. Now, I have drummed on about this for so long, but it is super, super important. Every day I seem to come across a website that's spent money advertising to me on Facebook or through Google Ads, and I look at it on my mobile phone and it is just awful to use. It's not working, and I don't quite understand what's going on, okay? So remember, over half your customers are going to be shopping on their phones. So take the time to optimize your mobile phone for your Christmas sales, for your Christmas promotions, for whatever it is you're trying to do over Christmas. Make sure it works on the mobile, okay? Especially pay close attention to the checkout, because abandoned carts are a nightmare. You don't want that. You just don't want that. Okay. Tip number 8. If you do not sell them on your website, then and if you're generating traffic and sales, you want to add gift cards. You want to add gift vouchers to your website. These are a great way to create customer engagement, especially after your Christmas shipping date, right? So if someone comes to your website Christmas Eve, they're like, I've got to buy my mum a present. What am I going to get her? I know I'll get her a gift voucher from ... because they're a great website and I know she loves them. I'm going to go onto the website. I'm going to buy a gift voucher. I'm going to get that emailed to me instantly. I can print it off and I can give it to my mum and go, hey, Mom, Merry Christmas, right? So I feel like I've got her something for Christmas. Definitely make sure you have got the vouchers on your website, okay? Super, super critical. Now, one of the things that we did a few years ago with vouchers, which was really, really fascinating. Now, bearing in mind with vouchers, you're almost printing money in some respects, and there is a moral side to this, which we'll get into in another podcast. But with vouchers, it's true that not 100% of people will redeem them, right? So on Jersey, we reckon there's between 60 and 80% of people redeem the vouchers, okay? So people buy the vouchers, about 60 to 80% of them get redeemed. Just bear that in mind in terms of how that's going to work for you. But you can then use those kind of stats, if you've got that experience on your website, to create really interesting ideas. For example, we came across an idea a few years ago where it was running up to Christmas, and IKEA, the furniture store, started selling Christmas trees. And they ran this promotion which says, listen, if you buy this Christmas tree from us, which is retailing at, say, $25, if you buy this tree at $25, we will give you a gift voucher to the value of $25 to spend in our store, right? So customers were looking at this going, man, it's almost like I'm getting a free Christmas tree. And so they come along, they got the Christmas tree, they were already at IKEA, they were going to go and buy other stuff, so it got them into the store, and IKEA gave them a voucher. And when you looked at the small print on that voucher, it had to be redeemed in a very specific week between January and February, where sales are notoriously low, right? Of course, not everybody's going to redeem that voucher, and so I'm sure IKEA won out in that. So if you've got a product with high profit margins, if you've got voucher redemption stats that you understand, is there something like that you could run on your website that's going to help you? Tip number 9 is, it is Christmas, so let's think about other people and do something for charity, right? Now, what we like to do here at Jersey, last year, for example, we invited people to donate to a charity that we were going to support over the Christmas period, and we offered to match donations, okay? So, for example, we supported a charity called Imagine If last year, and the target was to raise £2,000. And in fact, we raised £2,500 because our customers are super generous with the Jersey site, which is great. £2,500 is what, about $3,500? So we wanted to raise a couple of £1,000 for a very specific event that Imagine If were doing. And what they did is they opened up a big hall, a big church hall on Christmas Day, and they invited the lonely and the elderly and those maybe who couldn't afford to have Christmas dinner into the building, and they waited on them hand and foot. They got a whole bunch of volunteers in, and they gave them presents and they cooked them Christmas dinner, and it was wonderful and it was beautiful. And actually they fed 300 people on Christmas Day in Liverpool in the UK, and we got to sponsor that a little bit and support that, and it was brilliant to see so many people turn up and get fed and not be lonely on Christmas and enjoy a good Christmas dinner. And I cannot begin to tell you how good everybody here felt to be involved with something like that, right? And Christmas is about charity as much as it's about anything else, and let's do something for charity, Let's get out there and think, what could we do for charity? Okay, tip number 10. Be fun and include your customers in the festive spirit. Christmas is a time of charity and love, and, it's Christ's birthday, so it's quite an important day of the year, which is brilliant. And I have to be honest with you, Christmas is perhaps my favorite time of the year. But the thing about Christmas and family, it's all about fun, and you've got to have a laugh and you've got to have some fun. And so make sure you do that. My favorite memory of fun at Christmas was a few years ago. The staff, including me, put on some Christmas outfits, and we got in a whole bunch of cars, and we wrote our own Christmas song, and we recorded our own sort of version of a Christmas carpool video kind of thing. And it was just brilliant. And it took weeks to get all the glitter out of my car, I have to be honest with you. But it was fantastic. And if you want to see that video, which I actually think is quite a good video, check it out. I'll put a link at on the show notes at mattedmundson.com to YouTube where you can watch that, right? Because It was fantastic. So they're my top 10 tips. Make sure, okay, you start to plan early. Get involved in gift wrap. Be super clear on your shipping and delivery times for your customers. Minimize your returns. Be super clear with customer service. Think about your offers and your promotions and what you can do to increase conversion. Pay attention to the mobile friendliness of your website. Definitely do gift vouchers, and you can even be creative with those. Do something for charity and have fun and include your customers in that festive spirit. They're my top 10 tips. I hope you've got something out of this. And like I say, keep on listening, because after the news section, you're going to hear from Sadaf and Jen, and it's a great little interview. It's about 10 minutes long, where Jen's going to share with you some real practical help and insight that she is doing for Jersey Beauty Company. So check that out. We are now going to take a few minutes to stop, pause, and review this week's e-commerce news.
All right, so it's September.
It is.
And kids are going back to school this week.
Yes.
Are your kids going back to school?
They are definitely going back to school. And my kids are at different ages to each other. All kids are different ages, unless you have twins, I suppose. But I have kids in different schools, and so they're going back at different times, which is, that's slightly contentious, because one goes back to school 2 days before the other one. Of course, that's not fair, right? But,
C'est la vie.
C'est la vie. We were actually joking about this the other day, where I was talking to a school teacher, and she was remarking how whenever September comes around and you take your kids back to school, it seems to be that the first few days parents literally open the door, throw their kids in and run off as quickly as they can, because the summer break is over, right? The 6 weeks of sheer torture has been done, and they're off. So are you going to do that with your kids?
I am. I'm very much looking forward to that. So Matt had a question. Okay. I know your kids are much older now, but back in the day when you used to make their lunch boxes.
That never happened, but yeah.
No? Okay. Well, say you're making their lunch box.
Yeah.
What are you putting in it?
Well, okay. Now, if I was making their lunchbox, it would be different to if my wife was making their lunchbox. I would tend to be quick, easy, and probably slightly unhealthy, whereas Sharon would have taken a bit more time and given them healthy food. Although that said, our policy from a very early age was they made their own packed lunch, because they have to take a packed lunch every day. So our kids, as long as I can remember, have always made their own packed lunch, but within very strict boundaries, if that makes sense. So I would say what went in their lunchbox would have been sandwich, carrot sticks, some nuts, bit of fruit, I don't know, that kind of stuff.
It's been a while.
Yeah. I've not checked him recently, to be fair.
All right. Well, I'm in the process of trying to figure out what to put in lunch boxes.
Okay.
Hence why I asked. And I'm sure there's many listeners out there who might also be interested. So thanks, Matt.
A top tip. But I would tend to avoid anything with sugar, because they will just flip out around 1, 2 o'clock, and then the teachers will not appreciate that, right? So I wouldn't put Coke in their lunch boxes. I wouldn't put crisps or biscuits or any of that kind of stuff. I'd just be like, here's some nice food. Eat it. And then, the teachers will be thankful, very thankful, when your kids are not kicking off at 1 o'clock.
The kids might be thankful too one day.
Yeah, that's true.
All right. So moving on. A few days ago in the news, there was a news story about a guy who was approached by a Washington state trooper while he was sitting parked on the shoulder of a busy highway. Did you hear about that?
No.
No? All right. So this trooper found this dude sitting in his car playing Pokemon Go on 8 different phones. Like literally, he had a foam board. Yeah, it is. He had a foam board that had slits in it. And he had placed
So he made a proper... have you seen photos of this board? Mm-hmm. So he'd actually made a board where he could put 8 phones so he could play Pokemon Go.
Yeah. And he was just sitting there on the hard shoulder playing Pokemon Go.
Okay. Did he get arrested?
He didn't, actually. He didn't even get a ticket. He just got a warning, got away with a warning.
Did the trooper join in the Pokemon Go?
I don't think he did, but he must have been sympathetic at least.
I wouldn't have been sympathetic. I'm sorry, if you play Pokemon Go, I would not have been sympathetic to that. Because I hear about it all the time. People, doing crazy things because of Pokemon Go. Just walking out into traffic and all kinds of stuff. It's just nuts.
It is nuts. And I thought that it was kind of dying down. I'd kind of stopped hearing about it. But according to Forbes and app-centric news outlets, the app is currently pushing over $2.45 billion in revenue since its debut in 2016.
$2.5 billion in revenue.
Isn't that crazy?
For Pokemon Go.
Mm-hmm.
Fork and spoons, that's a lot of money. Okay, so I guess it's my turn to bring a news item, although not much of what we've talked about is news. Oh, I suppose the Pokemon thing is news. UK consumers, right? There's an article that's come out recently that I read about the sales of DVDs and CDs. When was the last time you bought a CD or a DVD?
I can't even remember.
I don't remember the last time I bought a DVD. I remember giving away practically all of my DVD collection because it's like, you know what? I tell you what happened, right? A few months ago, we were with a friend of ours, Tony. Tony, if you're listening, hey. We were with a friend of ours, Tony, me and Sharon, with Tony and his wife, Annie, and we were talking about the TV series, The West Wing. Have you ever watched this?
Mm-hmm. No, I haven't seen it all, but I started it.
You started it. So he was talking about The West Wing, and he said to Sharon and I, have you watched The West Wing? And I said, no, we have not seen The West Wing. And bearing in mind, this was, however long ago West Wing came on. And he's like, he couldn't get his head around this because in his opinion, The West Wing is like the best TV series that's ever been done. Now, he did political history at university, so he was going to be well into the politics of it. That's cool. And so I didn't think anything else of it. And then a few days later, this box arrives from Amazon. And in it is the complete West Wing season box set, but it's on DVD, right? And so part of me is like, oh, Tony, this is super kind and generous of you to buy us the DVDs. The problem was we did not have a DVD player in the house to go and watch them, right? And so we had to rig up an old CD DVD player that I managed to find, the one that used to plug into your USB port on your Mac, right?
Yeah.
So we download some software. I can now watch them. So we have to watch these DVDs on a computer because I don't own a DVD player anymore. That's how crazy the world has gone. Anyway, all of that said, according to this article, CDs, the sales of CDs and DVDs have plunged by almost a fifth in 3 months. So in the last 3 months, sales have fallen by 20%, right? As mind-boggling, baffling a figure that is, I'm not surprised.
No, I'm not surprised either. And a part of me wonders why this didn't happen earlier.
Well, I'm sure it has been, but I mean, it's properly falling off a cliff now, isn't it? So there you go. I hope you're I hope you're not selling CDs and DVDs. It doesn't seem to be a growth industry. Maybe in 20 years' time, there'll be a revival like there was with record players. I don't know. Maybe I'll regret giving away all of those DVDs.
But you've got that software now.
I've got that software, and I'm going to hang on to West Wing just in case they go up in value. That's great. Thanks, Adam.
That's the news. So now, let's get back to it.
Okay, so Jan, I have to be honest with you. When I have seen Christmas stuff popping up in stores in October, I get annoyed thinking, why are people selling Christmas stuff so early? I'm guessing it's because people are buying that early, or is there another reason for it?
Yeah, I think typically Jersey Beauty have found that sales tend to drop off towards the end of December, towards the end of the first week of December. So a lot of the sales are taking place in October and November as people are planning for Christmas. So the Jersey Christmas shop goes live in October so that people can actually see what's available and buy in advance of December.
Okay, so you're saying that a lot of the profit that you're going to be making for the Christmas stuff is actually going to be made about 2 months before the actual holiday season?
Yeah, that's right. And a lot of work has gone into the Christmas shop well in advance of October. So, for example, if you're wanting to create a specific Christmas section on a website, your web developers might need about 4 weeks to do that. They might want to take photographs of Christmas products. And obviously for your shop then to have a Christmas section that goes live in October, you need to have started that a good few weeks before. Once the Jersey Christmas section goes live, obviously we need to have had details of the last shipping dates for customers to see. So we need to be clear on those. That needs to be up on the website. And other things we consider are how the website's going to look. Are you going to have Christmas banners? And I know you said about people going into shops and not liking to see all the Christmas stuff too early, but actually you need to put it in the customer's eyes. So I think Jersey have, snow falling on banners and things to get people in the festive spirit. And another thing that Jersey consider in advance of the Christmas shop going live is that there will be people that are organised and buy stuff straight away. So if there's any specific packaging that you're going to package up orders in, to give them a festive touch, you need to have ordered that and have it ready in the warehouse for when people package up gifts that are purchased from the Christmas section.
So is there any advantage for me as a consumer to go shopping in October for Christmas presents for December?
I guess it depends what kind of a consumer you are, whether you're organised or last minute. But a lot of promotions that we do will be in October and November for the Christmas stock. And also, the sooner you order it, you're guaranteed to receive it because there are, last shipping dates. You don't want to miss those. Some items might be really popular, so they might go out of stock.
Okay, I'm not always that organized, but good reasons to be organized. All right. So what has Jersey done in the past that's been tried and tested and it works? Okay.
So Jersey runs most of their offers, like I said, October, November. They do some Christmas offers in December. In November, Jersey's run a 12 days of Christmas. So you might automatically think that should be the 12 days leading up to Christmas, but actually shoppers have probably bought online what they're going to by then. So in order to catch people as they're shopping, the 12 days of Christmas has run in the past from about the 19th of November. And that's included all kinds of things like a 3-for-2 one day, a voucher for money off another day, a free headband, a competition. It could be anything, but a different offer each day. And the customers will get to see that on the website and on the emails they receive as well. They've done the 12 days of Christmas, and we offer gift vouchers. And all of these Christmas promotions, we'll start making customers aware of them in our social media and the emails they receive from October, so they'll know that they're going to happen. So we have gift vouchers, and you could obviously run that quite close to Christmas, so that people can buy a gift voucher for a loved one or a friend. We offer gift wrapping for a small cost. People will often choose that because then the gift is, they've bought it, it's ready wrapped, and it's easy for them to give. Closer to Christmas, we might upgrade the shipping from a 48-hour to a 24-hour shipping for free as an incentive for people to buy. And also, we sometimes have offered a little Hessian Santa sack, and then they will get, if they spend a certain amount, a customer will receive 6 free samples that will be selected randomly for them. And that will be packaged up maybe with some chocolates in their order. So it's just extra little touches to put a festive spin on the gifts.
Cool. That sounds great. Before I ask you what your plans are for this Christmas, talking about your promotions that you guys have done in the past, are they mostly catered towards your current customers, or are they also for new customers? So when you say that you've got promotions on your website, I'm guessing your current customers will be checking it all the time to see what offers you've got. But how do you bring new customers to your website for that? Is there any promotions or any way that you advertise to them?
So our current customers who are subscribing to the emails, who've ordered offers before, receive emails 3 times a week. So they'll have lots of information about the offers that are happening. If a customer has never shopped before, We'll have tiles on the website, specific tiles, so they can see different offers. Once they go onto a certain company's page, they will see offers relevant to that brand. And also the social media channels of Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. We'll put lots of different information there about different ads that obviously can be targeted to customers who've liked certain pages or who follow us or who follow, some of the brands we sell.
All right. So what are your plans for this Christmas?
Okay. So for this Christmas, we are planning to sell some Jersey Christmas boxes. So we currently sell some Jersey beauty boxes, and it's a box that you can buy, and they're full of all different brands of products. Some Dermalogica, some Gino, all kinds of different brands. And it's a box that's, you could give as a gift or you can keep for yourself as a treat. But we're going to do some with a Christmas spin. So they'll have some festive touches in them. So you can treat yourself or treat someone else. And the box is a lovely gift box as well. So we're going to do some Jersey Christmas boxes. We're also going to offer the gift wrapping again. We're going to offer the little Santa sacks with some samples, but we might include them instead of them being just one brand. We might mix them up and have a few brands of samples so people can try something they never tried before. And you'd have to spend a certain amount to qualify for that. We'll also be offering the gift vouchers. In addition to that, the Jersey Christmas boxes, I think we're going to offer some boxes that are eco boxes. So they might contain products like bamboo toothbrushes or shampoo bars, different products that we've got to help people reduce the amount of plastic that they use in their lives. I think people have become very aware of the amount of plastic we use. Mm-hmm. So we're going to do a Christmas box specifically for people who are looking to reduce the amount of plastic that they use, or if they've got a loved one that they know is concerned about the amount of plastic, where they can try some different products that are eco-friendly as well.
Yeah, that's a great incentive for people who are more eco-aware. Mm-hmm. Jen, what are your plans for Boxing Day?
Okay, so on Boxing Day, I think we are going to offer a money off code. So Jersey has tried and tested this before. There's nobody in. And obviously in that Christmas period, you have skeleton staff, but the website is still open. People can still buy, and so orders will still get shipped the day after Boxing Day. And Jersey's found that in the past, a money off code has worked better than a % off. So, for example, customers prefer to see that they're getting £10 off an order as opposed to 10% off an order. So I think the top tip would be to keep it simple and just offer straight money off for Boxing Day.
The 10%, you stay away from that because otherwise people have to do the math? And it's easier to just see what you're getting off?
I think when people can see that they're getting £10 off, they don't have to start working out percentages. And I think Jersey's just found that it just works better.
Yeah. Unless it's 50% off?
Yeah, obviously. And then people like that.
Thank you, Jen. Before you go, do you have one main piece of advice that you could give to our listeners who might be thinking about their own sales and or promotions for the Christmas season?
My piece of advice would be that if you are not organised yet, that you get your skates on and think through what promotions you're going to offer and start getting the assets you might need, the packaging, whatever it is you need to make that happen, that you start doing that as soon as possible.
Thank you, Jen. Really appreciate your time.
Well, my thanks again to Jen and to Sadaf for taking the time to, actually just record that interview, which was great. And it was fun to hear it. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you are getting Christmas ready. Like I said earlier, it may seem wrong to think about Christmas this early, but it's really going to help you drive those sales. And I have a little note here on my screen in front of me. You cannot see what's in front of me. I appreciate this, right? So when I do these podcasts, I have a note for each podcast in Evernote. And we use Evernote, and it's brilliant. It's wonderful. And Sadaf helps me with a lot of the research, and she puts it all together. And she did this interview. And in this note here, she's put that Jen and Sadaf are the best. So my thanks again to Jen and Sadaf. You are the best, girls. Well done. It was awesome. I really appreciate that. And especially your modesty. You know what? I mean, you know, your humility when talking about Christmas is fantastic. Keep it up. Okay, now make sure you subscribe to the show wherever you get your podcasts. It is free, and the show is full of great stuff about how to set up, run, and grow your own e-commerce business. So do make sure you subscribe to keep up to date. And also, we can connect on social media if that's your thing. Connect with me on Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube. I'm on all of those platforms. Just go and search for Matt Edmundson and you'll find me. Easy as they say, especially Instagram. I've mentioned this before. I'm loving Instagram at the moment. I'm trying to do this little weekly vlog on Instagram. So if you want a little bit more behind the scenes type stuff, check out my Instagram feed because there's a lot of IGTV stuff going on there at the moment. As I said earlier, all of the show notes for today's episode, links to the sponsors, more information about the Collab Project, the link to my social media stuff, and the link to the YouTube video, the Carpool Karaoke, are all going to be on my website, mattedmundson.com. Thanks for listening, and I'll be back next week as we talk about Black Friday. So you're definitely going to want to come and check that out. Until next time.
You've been listening to the Curiosity Podcast with Matt Edmundson. Subscribe and join us next time as we carry on conversations about all things e-commerce and digital business.